जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरवनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम। जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे। जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय। जय जय प्रभुपाद। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। श्री श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। हरे कृष्ण। I heartily welcome all the devotees for the today's evening Bhagavad Gita class. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, and today the verse is verse number 20. Okay. Kindly recite after me. Aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. Aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. aham ādiś madhyam ca. aham ādiś madhyam ca. bhūtānām anta ca. bhūtānām anta ca. aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. aham ādiś madhyam ca. bhūtānām anta ca. aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. aham ādiś madhyam ca. bhūtānām anta ca. aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. aham ādiś madhyam ca. bhūtānām anta ca. aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. aham ādiś madhyam ca. bhūtānām anta ca. aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. aham ādiś madhyam ca. bhūtānām anta ca. Vaishnavi. aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. aham ādiś madhyam ca. bhūtānām anta ca. aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. aham ādiś madhyam ca. bhūtānām anta ca. Hare Krishna. और कोई बोलेंगे? बोलिए. aham ātmā Guḍākeśa. sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. aham ādiś madhyam ca. bhūtānām anta ca. Hare Krishna. Atma, the soul, Guḍākeśa, O Arjuna, sarva-bhūta, of all living entities, āśaya-sthitaḥ,
āśaya-sthitaḥ,
situated within the heart.
situated within the heart.
Aham,
Aham,
I am.
I am.
ādiḥ,
ādiḥ,
the origin.
the origin.
Cha,
Cha,
also.
also.
madhyam,
madhyam,
middle.
middle.
Cha,
Cha,
also.
also.
bhūtānām,
bhūtānām,
of all living entities.
of all living entities.
antaḥ,
Anta,
end.
and,
eva,
eva,
certainly.
certainly.
Cha,
Cha,
and.
and.
The meaning of this shloka and the purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. I am the Supersoul, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Purport. In this verse, Arjuna is addressed as Guḍākeśa, which means one who has conquered the darkness of sleep, ignorance. For those who are sleeping in the darkness of ignorance, it is not possible to understand how the Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests himself in various ways in the material and spiritual worlds. Thus, the address by Kṛṣṇa to Arjuna is significant. Because Arjuna is above such darkness, the personality of Godhead agrees to describe his various opulences. Kṛṣṇa first informs Arjuna that he is the soul of the entire cosmic manifestation by dint of his primary expansion. Before the material creation, the Supreme Lord, by his plenary expansion, accepts the Purusha incarnation. And from him everything begins. Therefore, he is ātmā, the soul of the Mahat-tattva, the universal elements. The total material energy is not the cause of the creation. Actually, the Mahavishnu enters into the Mahat-tattva, the total material energy. He is the soul. When Mahavishnu enters into the manifested universes, he again manifests himself as the Supersoul in each and every entity. We have experienced that the personal body of the living entity exists due to the presence of the spiritual spark. Without the existence of the spiritual spark, the body cannot develop. Similarly, the material manifestation cannot develop unless the Supreme Soul, Kṛṣṇa, enters. As stated in the Subala Upanishad, Prakriti ādi sarva-bhūtānār gyāmi sarva-sheshacha Narayanaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is existing as the Supersoul in all manifested universes. The three Purusha avatars are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. They are also described in the Sattvata Tantra. Vishnostu trini rupani Purushakyani atho viduh. The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests three features as Karanodakashaya Vishnu, Garbhodakashaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakashaya Vishnu in this material manifestation. The Mahavishnu or Karanodakashaya Vishnu is described in the Brahma Samhita. Yah karana navajale bhajati sma yoga nidramananta jagadanda saroma kupa Ādhāra shakti mabalambya param swamurtim Govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. The Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa, the cause of all causes, lies down in the cosmic ocean as Mahavishnu. Therefore, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the beginning of this universe, the maintainer of the universal manifestation, and the end of all energy. Hare Krishna. So this is a very beautiful and important opulence that Kṛṣṇa starts to explain. And the meaning of this verse, so kindly recite these two sentences after me. I am the Supersoul,
I am the Supersoul,
O Arjuna,
O Arjuna,
seated in the hearts
seated in the hearts
of all living entities.
of all living entities.
I am the beginning,
I am the beginning,
the middle,
the middle,
and end of all beings.
and the end of all beings.
So this chapter, presentation, the opulence of the absolute. Absolute means what we call the Param Satya, the final truth, and that is Lord Kṛṣṇa. If you see the summary of this chapter, whether in the material world or in spiritual, all the wonderful phenomena that show power, beauty, glory or sublimits are partial manifestation of Kṛṣṇa's divine power and glory. As the supreme cause of all causes and the support and essence of all, Kṛṣṇa is the supreme object of worship for all beings. So this is the summary of this chapter. Kṛṣṇa is the object of worship for all beings. Now, if you just see this chapter, how this chapter is divided, this whole chapter has got 42 shlokas. And this chapter can be divided into 4 themes, 4 parts. The first part, the text from number 1 to 7, shloka 1 to 7, this describes that one who understands unknowable position of Kṛṣṇa worships him. One who knows Kṛṣṇa's unknowable position, he starts worshipping him. So that is the theme of the first part. Second part is shloka krama 8 to 11. This is called Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. Aham sarvasya prabho matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So those 4 shlokas who are the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Shloka Kramang 8 to 11. Third part is Shloka Kramang 12 to 18. This is Arjuna's acceptance and request. When Arjuna hears the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, he accepts it and then he prays. And then, knowing that supreme position of the Kṛṣṇa, Arjuna has a desire to know more about the opulences of the Lord. So Arjuna accepts and then requests, my Lord, I would like to know in detail more about your opulences. If you just go back to 2 shlokas, in shloka Kramang 18, Shloka Kramang 17 and 18, the text 17 and 18, Katam vidyamahe yogi satvam sada parichantayan keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintosi bhagavan maya. O Kṛṣṇa, O supreme mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? He asked this question. Well, I know that you are the beginning and you are the essence of the whole universe. Aham sarvasya prabhu. I understand. But how should I remember you? Where should I start? And then next he asks, Vistarenatmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya katahya traptirhi shunvato nasti me amrutam. O Janardana, O Kṛṣṇa, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So this is the Arjuna's request, that I want to hear more about your opulences. And in answers to this, Kṛṣṇa says in the text 10, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Hantate katayishyami divyahi ātmā vibhūtaya pradanyata kuru shrestha nastyanto vistarashyame. He said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, yes, I will tell you my splendorous manifestation, but only of those which are prominent. O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless. Arjuna, my opulence is limitless. It may not be possible because Kṛṣṇa and Arjuna are on the battlefield. The time is very short. And then if Kṛṣṇa goes on explaining all his opulences, maybe it will take years. So the purpose is on the battlefield. So I will only explain the prominent one. So with that he starts the first verse of this explanation, that is in the Next, fourth part, the text number 19 to 42, in this 23 verses, Kṛṣṇa is explaining all the prominent opulences. And the first one start with this verse. Aham ātmā Guḍākeśa sarva-bhūtāśaya-sthitaḥ. Aham ādiś madhyam bhūtānām anta. So here Kṛṣṇa calls Arjuna as Guḍākeśa. I think you must have heard about this many times. What is meant by this Guḍākeśa, and who called Guḍākeśa to Arjuna? So Arjuna, as you know, is the very sincere devotee of, disciple of Dronacharya. So during the Gurukula time, Arjuna used to study whatever Dronacharya used to teach very sincerely. And sometime Arjuna used to get up in the middle of the night, and then he used to practice all Dhanur Vidya, the archery and whatever has been taught, he used to practice in the night. And one day, Dronacharya came and saw that Arjuna is, without sleeping, he is practicing. So Dronacharya became very pleased. And he came near Arjuna and embraced him. Arjuna, I would like to see that no one of my disciples would be as expert as you. I would like to create you as one of the most expert. You are a Guḍākeśa. Guḍākeśa means one who has conquered sleep, ignorance. So to understand the opulence of the Kṛṣṇa, one should be out of this ignorance. If we all are stuck up in the material ignorance, how can we understand the Supreme? So that's why, since Kṛṣṇa knows that Arjuna is out of ignorance, already 9 chapters are over. And after the 9th chapter, Arjuna has come out of the illusion which was temporarily created in him by Kṛṣṇa's energy, and that he has come out. Now, so Kṛṣṇa is addressing him as Guḍākeśa. You have come out of this ignorance. So now I will explain some of the prominent opulences. So in this verse, aham ātmā Guḍākeśa, I am the Supersoul. O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. So the Supreme Person, Kṛṣṇa, has already said that I am the source of everything, and everything emanates from me. In that Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, in those 4 verses, he has explained that I am the source of everything that you think of, both material and spiritual. And everything emanates from me. One who understands this, he will worship me. So, aham ātmā, the Lord is situated in the hearts of all living entities as Paramatma. You can just understand, the compassion of the Lord. The Lord said in 7th chapter, in 15th chapter that mame amshe jiva loke jiva bhūta sanatana manashastani indriyani prakriti stani karshati. All these living entities are my part and parcel. Because they are separated from me, they are struggling in this material world. And why Kṛṣṇa comes again and again in different avatars, incarnation, is to attract all these jivatma who are separated back to him and go back to Godhead. And that is the place where the real happiness is. And Kṛṣṇa is so compassionate. Not only that, he remains as Supersoul, Paramatma, in every entity. Even the worm, which resides in the stool, Kṛṣṇa stays with him as Paramatma. That worm, that Jivatma, without knowing the presence of Kṛṣṇa, because to enjoy this material world, he transmigrates from one body to another body and another body. So long as he is transforming from one body to another, the Paramatma, the Lord, he situates in his heart. Wherever he goes, is situated in him. And this is the compassion of the Supreme Lord. So Acharya says the love of Kṛṣṇa for the living entity is million times more than the love of a mother. Generally, the mother is said to be the most lovable in this world. Who can be more, loving and more near to a individual entity? The mother. But the love of Kṛṣṇa is million times more than a single mother of this material world. This is the compassion. So, Kṛṣṇa is saying, I am the Supersoul. So, in many Upanishads it is explained that in every individual heart, the soul and Supersoul, ātmā and Paramatma, they are situated just like in a tree, on the branch of a tree, there are two birds sitting. One bird wants to enjoy all the fruits in that tree. And another bird just looking at him, and he sanctions, and he permits him, or sometimes he restrains him. So, this anomaly is given in many Upanishads, that Paramatma is situated in the heart as the Supersoul. And in 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, it is explained that Anumanta, Bhokta, Bharta. Anumanta means one who gives permission. So as a Supersoul sitting within, he gives the permission. Lord is giving the permission. So many times we experience that sometimes from within we feel that no, I should not have done this, or I should not do this. And this is inspiration coming from that Supersoul. So here Kṛṣṇa is explaining a Guḍākeśa, I am, O Arjuna, seated in the hearts of all living entities. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. So whenever a material entity, a Jivatma, takes a birth in this material world, and it takes a birth because there is a soul within that body. If there is no soul, nobody can take birth. Nobody can exist here. And wherever the soul is there, Supersoul also accompanies him. And that's why it's the beginning of all entities. Even before entering the mother's womb, before getting that material body developed, the Supersoul is accompanying with the soul. So that's why all this garbhadhana sanskara, we should teach the pregnant lady before the child is born about the Supreme. Otherwise, he will again forget and go away from the Supreme and get entangled in this material world. And in the middle, during the youth time, so there is a tendency to enjoy this material opulences. But one should be cautioned about the Supersoul. One should understand the Supersoul. If one who is fortunate gets association with the devotees, he will try to understand about the Supreme Soul. And of course, during the end, if one does not remember the Supreme at the end of the life, again he will come back to this material world again and again. Anta kale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. One should remember the Supreme if he wants to get out of this material world and go back to Godhead. So Kṛṣṇa says this material world is full of misery. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanu darshanam. This material world is full of misery. Every step there is a danger. So if you want to get out of this material world, you worship me. You offer me obeisances. You remember me. And especially at the time of death, you remember me. So as one remembers at the time of death, he will achieve that body in the next life. So Kṛṣṇa says, I am the ādiḥ, the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. Now in the second paragraph of this purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining the expansion of the Supreme Lord. Kṛṣṇa is the original source, aham sarvasya Prabhu. The original seed is Kṛṣṇa. And Krishna expands into Sankarshana. Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. These are called as 4 plenary portion, expansion. And from Sankarshana, Balramji, Krishna again expands into 3 forms of Vishnu. Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. Now, we know Vishnu because we all are devotees, so we know Vishnu, Bhagavan Vishnu. But how do you suppose if any of these 3 Vishnu form come in front of us, how do we understand that he is the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu? How to understand he is the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu? And how to understand he is the Karanodakshaya Vishnu? So if you see in Bhagavad Gita or in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are pictures given. Srila Prabhupada has given some pictures. Karanodakshaya Vishnu is just lying onto the Karanodaka ocean, Karanodaka Samudra. So Krishna is just lying. If you have seen the picture of Vishnu, he's just lying here. And so many universes are emanating from the pores of his body. Ananta Brahmanda. They are just coming out from the pores of his body. There are bubbles coming out. If you have seen that picture, he is the Karanodakshaya Vishnu. Then Karanodakshaya Vishnu creates so many universes, so many Brahmandas, so many universes from the realms, from the pores of his body. And these universes expand and they are situated in different places. And then Karanodakshaya Vishnu himself expands into Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. He enters into each of these universes, Brahmanda, as a Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. So if you have seen the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu is lying on the Ananta Shesha. You have seen the picture? And where from his novel, the lotus is sprouting, and within that lotus, Brahmaji is born. So if you have seen that picture where Mata Lakshmi ji is serving the lotus feet of the Lord, he is the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. In each of these universes, the Karanodakshaya Vishnu expands into Garbhodakshaya Vishnu and situated on the Ananta Shesha. That is the Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. And then from Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, innumerable entities are created in this material world. And that Garbhodakshaya Vishnu expands as a Paramatma into each of the entities that is created. Okay, so that Paramatma expansion is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. He is lying on the Kshirodaka Samudra, Kshirodaka ocean. So Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. So in many of the temples you see the deity of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu standing, and he has Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. The 4 hands, if you have seen in the temple. And if he is standing alone, he is the Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. If he is standing with Mata Lakshmi, he is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu. Okay. But if he is lying on the ocean, is Karanodakshaya Vishnu. So here it is explained, the 3 Purusha avatars described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, they are also described in Sattvata Tantra. Vishnu tu Trini Rupani. The Supreme Personality of Godhead manifests 3 features as Karanodakshaya Vishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu in this material manifestation. So Karanodakshaya Vishnu is called as Mahavishnu. Mahavishnu comes from where? Sankarshana. Sankarshana comes from where? Kṛṣṇa. So Kṛṣṇa is the source of everything. So that's why the soul is connected with that Kṛṣṇa through all these Vishnu forms. That's why one should worship Lord Vishnu. So there are many questions in the mind why we should not worship Shivji, why we should not worship any other demigods? Because the soul's existence is connected with the Supreme Mahavishnu, Kṛṣṇa. And only when one worships Kṛṣṇa, then only he will find a peace in the life, the eternal peace. And Kṛṣṇa is also called as Mukunda, the one gives mukti. So none other than Kṛṣṇa can award this mukti to any living entity. We all are entangled in this material world, So if you want to get out of this material entanglement, only Lord Vishnu can give this benediction. So that's why he is called as Mukunda. Even even Shivji cannot award mukti. Brahmaji cannot award mukti. Although they are great personalities, but still Lord Shiva himself says, I cannot give the mukti. So only Lord Mukunda can give this mukti. So that is why one should worship Lord Vishnu. And since aham, ātmā, Paramatma, he is situated in everybody's heart, but the living entity, because of his forgetful nature, he is forgotten eternally, the Supreme Lord. We all were we were all part and parcel of the Supreme. We were in the Golok Dhama. But because of a desire to enjoy this material world, or because of dvesha, towards the Supreme Lord, we all have come into this material world. So in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Ichha dvesha samuthena bharata, dvandva mohena bharata, sarge yanti parantam. Just because of desire and dvesha, we have come into this material world. And we completely forget that Supreme Lord. Because each individual has a desire to enjoy this material world. But how can one enjoy this material world? The material world enjoys him or her. Like, say for example, if there is you have seen a camel. Camel wants to eat always the thorny leaves. And because it eats the thorny leaves, the blood comes out from its tongue. And the elephant is tasting its own blood. The camel is tasting its own blood. But it's thinking that, oh, I am enjoying, it's so sweet. But actually the thorny leaves are enjoying the camel. So this material world is like this. So forgetting Lord Vishnu, Lord Kṛṣṇa, each individual entity wants to enjoy in this material world. And because of that he gets bound in this world. And the binding force is Triguna. The Lord's illusory energy, Maya, is so strong. It is made out of 3 gunas, Satogun, Rajogun, Tamogun. These 3 are strong ropes, Satoguna rope, Rajogun and Tamogun. Guna is also the meaning of guna is also a rope. So every one of us are bound in this material world by this guna. And because of this strong binding, one has to struggle. There is no complete independence in this material world. Everyone is controlled, just like, those wooden dolls are controlled by the player, Kathputli. Everyone is controlled by the Maya. Unless one surrenders to Kṛṣṇa, one cannot get out of this struggle of this material world. Daivihi esha gunamai mama maya duratya mameva ye prapadyante mayam etam tarantiti. The Daivi guna, these 3 ropes are so strong. One cannot get out of this unless he surrenders to my lotus feet. So that's why Lord Kṛṣṇa suggests that you please surrender to me. You have seen Lord Balaji's picture, Tirupati Balaji. So Tirupati Lord, he has shown the hand like this. What is the meaning of this? He is giving mercy. Sorry, sir.
Blessings.
Yeah, he is giving blessing like this. Yeah. Okay. One is like this. Yeah. So with the right hand he is showing, giving mercy, right? Oh, okay. So Lord is showing his lotus feet. You please come and surrender to me. Then only you will be happy. Sarva-dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja. Aham tvam sarva-papyobhyo mokshayishyami ma shucha. This is the last verse of Bhagavad Gita. So that Lord is showing his feet. So many years back I was also thinking that Lord is giving mercy. But the mercy is in the form of showing his lotus feet. So this is the compassion of Lord Bhagavan. And the Lord is so compassionate towards every living entity that even one turns towards him, the Lord is so happy. If anybody comes for chanting, remembers the Lord, he does some little service, the Lord thinks, oh, this person has served, this is, even if he serve little, the Lord thinks, oh, he has done. That is the compassion of the Lord. In Srimad Bhagavatam, you just see the Sudama Vipra, the Sudama Brahman, who was very, very poor. He did not have anything to offer to Kṛṣṇa. His wife told once, why don't you go and see your friend Kṛṣṇa in Dwarka? So he is very rich, so he can give you something. We are very poor. Sudama said, I don't have anything to offer him. He said, don't worry, I will go to neighbor's house and get some poha. So she brought some rice from the neighborhood, and Sudama was tying that rice with his dhoti and went to Dwarka. Lord Kṛṣṇa saw Sudama, was so happy, and he started remembering all the childhood pastimes. And he asked Sudama, you have come so long, so what you have bought for me? Sudama was very shameful. He did not want to show what he has brought. If Kṛṣṇa eats this dry chawal, his stomach will be upset. So Sudama was thinking like that. But Kṛṣṇa, when he knew that he is hiding something, immediately snatched and he started eating that chawal, dry poha. Kṛṣṇa says, oh, such a nice, so beautiful. So again Kṛṣṇa was putting one more hand, but Rukmini Mata stopped him. And Sudama was so blessed. And when he wanted to ask something, but he said, it's futile. I have seen my great friend, Lord Kṛṣṇa, the Supreme Lord. That's enough. I don't want to ask anything. And Kṛṣṇa also did not give him anything in present. But he goes back to his house. The small hut which he was having, this was transformed into big palace with all gold and ornaments. His wife was standing like a queen when he goes back. So Kṛṣṇa thought, Sudama had nothing to give me, and he brought from the neighbor's house. He gave me those things which he did not have. But I have got so much of opulence, but I give him very little. After giving all this opulence to Sudama, Lord is thinking, I did not give anything to Sudama, but Sudama gave me so much, because he did not have even the chawal. He bought from the neighbor house and he gave it to him. But I had so much thing, but I gave only little. This is the compassion of the Supreme Lord. Even one offers with love water, a tulsi leaf, a fruit, a flower. Kṛṣṇa is so pleased. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhakta prayachati ashnami tadam bhakta upratam. A very beautiful story His Holiness Radha Govind Goswami Maharaj was telling this story. In South India, in Chennai, it's about 40-50 years back, there was one devotee, and he was very poor. He was having small house, and every day he used to get up early in the morning, do Manglarti in his house, and he was having a very beautiful Lord Kṛṣṇa's idol, Vigraha, and he used to worship him. And he used to go and sell the books, Bhagavad Gita, and he was subsisting on that, selling the books, and whichever gives some donation, he used to lead his life. One day he went to market, and he saw that there is one lady, old lady, selling the lotus flowers, a very beautiful lotus flower. And he was thinking that I should take the lotus flower to my Lord. But he did not have any money. He was just having 10 paisa. That time, 40-50 years back. And he goes and then again comes back. All her lotus flowers were sold, but there was one last remaining. Then he asked that lady, what is the price of this? The lady sold, it is 20 paisa. He was having only 10 paisa. Immediately there was one person came. He was a karmi, and that person was wandering with one prostitute with him. And just to impress that prostitute, he said, you give me that flower. What is the price? He said. Then that lady said, no, he has already taking this 20 paisa, I have already told him. That person said, no, I will give 50 paisa to this. So please give it to me. Because he wanted to impress that lady. That devotee said, no, I will give 1 rupee to this, but I want this flower. Then this fellow, I will give 2 rupees, you give it to me only. Then the devotee said, no, I will give 5 rupees. Then he said 10 rupees. Then he said 50 rupees. So it went on like, he said 100 rupees. The devotee said, I will give 150 rupees. And that fellow thought, this is a foolish fellow. Just for 20 paisa is giving 150 rupees. He thought then, he went along with that his girlfriend or prostitute. But this devotee does not have that 150 rupees. So immediately what he said was, he went to that one shop there, he took one bond paper and told that lady, I am writing my home, giving it to you. So you take my home and give me this flower. So that bond paper he signed and gave it to that lady and gave all his address and just took that flower. This is the real story. He took that flower and went home. And in the house, very beautiful deity. And he offered with, he did not think of, what would happen. I'm selling my house. But he offered with love that flower. So immediately the Kṛṣṇa, the deity who is standing here, looking at his devotion, just for this one flower to offer me, he sold his house. Kṛṣṇa was thinking. And Kṛṣṇa thought, I cannot repay him, this love. So that deity who was standing like this neck of the deity came down like this. The deity's face came down like this. So this was the real story. Then that day, the devotee worshipped the Lord and he slept peacefully. He did not think of. And on the same day, that lady who sold him and took that bond paper, in his dream, Lord Kṛṣṇa came. And he told that lady, look, you have given one flower which is supposed to be offered to me, but you have given for 150 rupees and you have taken my devotee's house. So you please give that bond paper to him. So Lord Kṛṣṇa appeared in her dream and went back. And this lady just got up. She was shocked. Kṛṣṇa came to my dream. And alas, how foolish I am. The great devotee of the Lord, And just for one flower, every day I gave so many flowers just free to people. But I am taking his house. Immediately she got up, she took one basket of flower and that bond paper, she knew that address, went back to his home, and then she offered namaskar to that devotee. So please excuse me, yesterday I unnecessarily took your house. I don't want this. You take this flower and the bond paper. And she went away. So this is the real story. Maharaj was telling that, I personally went that Chennai to see that devotee's house. And I saw that deity was like this. So this is the compassion of the Lord. Anybody who loves Kṛṣṇa, Kṛṣṇa loves million times and repays. And we cannot repay whatever Lord does for us. We cannot repay any of our life. So it is intelligent always to follow the instruction of the Lord, who is sitting within as Paramatma, and also from outside the Lord is giving the instruction in the form of Bhagavad Gita. So we should be intelligent enough to surrender to Kṛṣṇa and just follow whatever he has said. And that makes our life peaceful and we become intelligent. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So if you have any questions, any comments? Yes, Pujji.
Remembering or both. What is convenient also, according to what you have said, that ātmā, paramatma,
Within, yeah.
within, and at the same time remembering. So what is the more convenient and effective way to
Okay, so it's a very good question. So should one meditate on Paramatma, or should one come to temple and chant and follow whatever? It is the question, Prabhuji?
yes,
Yeah. Yes. So, see, many of us are having different thought process. But we should not give importance to our thought process. We should give importance to what Kṛṣṇa says. That is the surrendering. So Kṛṣṇa says, Man mana bhav mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskaru. We should try to follow what Kṛṣṇa said. And we should not think what I feel like this. If we say I feel like this and I want to do like this, that's not a complete surrender.
So accompanying, remembering and surrender.
Huh.
How altogether will be best way to
Yes, he is accompanying all the time. And surrendering means whatever he said in Bhagavad Gita, that is the surrendering. Kṛṣṇa says, you worship me, you offer namaskar to me, and you associate with the devotees. And you remember me all the time. You offer me the food and then take it as a prasad. These are all surrender, the process of surrendering.
feeling that he is accompanying with you and remembering and then surrendering. All these are the steps of the process.
Yes, this is again, to realize the Bhagavan, there are 3 steps. One is Brahma Jyoti step. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan iti Shabdate. There are so many religious organizations in this world. Some of them has an ultimate goal that after death one should merge into the Brahma Jyoti. So that is their ultimatum. But this is not the final destination. If one merges into Brahma Jyoti, he cannot stay there doing nothing. So he will be frustrated. That is called as spiritual suicide. But okay, that is better than the material life. But Brahma Jyoti is not an ultimatum. Next is Paramatma. Paramatma realization. The Lord Kṛṣṇa is present as Paramatma, Supersoul in everybody's heart. So yogis meditate within. They only sit and meditate Shantaras. So this is the second step of realization. But the third step, final step is Bhagavan. Kṛṣṇa is a person. Supreme Person has a form, beautiful form. So understanding this, reading from the scriptures, one should offer his services. The devotee is very simple devotee, they may not understand much, but when they come to temple, see the Lord's beautiful form, in temple, very beautiful decorations are there. In the morning when we take darshan, alas, oh, it's such a wonderful. So devotees feel very happy. Not only devotee, Kṛṣṇa also looks at all the devotees who come for taking darshan. So this is the transaction between devotee and the Lord. And then when one offers the food to Kṛṣṇa, it gets sanctified. Kṛṣṇa is very much pleased. Oh, my devotee, how much struggles he took to cook food for me and offer me. So Kṛṣṇa gives back the mercy in the form of prasad. And then keeping the deities in our house, bathing the Lord, and then offering obeisances and doing some shringar to him, and then putting him to sleep is such a beautiful service. By doing this, one eternally gets peace, connected to Kṛṣṇa all the time, and definitely one will remember him by doing some service to Kṛṣṇa. His life become sublime and very peaceful. So that's what Kṛṣṇa says. Man mana bhav mad bhakto mad yajim namaskaru. Mere bhakt bano. So please become my devotees. Offer obeisances. Do some service for me. So that makes life successful. So human life is meant for it. Human life is meant for. Dharma sva anustita pumsa vishwakshena katasuya na utpadayet yadiratim shrama eva kevalam. Srimad Bhagavatam said if anybody is situated in any material positions, but by doing all that dharma activities, if the love for Kṛṣṇa does not arise in the heart, whatever he does in the life is all futile. Shrama eva kevalam. Prabhupada used to say, if one earns millions of rupees, it is like earning 1 zero. If one builds very big house, another zero. If one becomes politician and very famous in this material world, another zero. So all these are zeros materially. These zeros have no value if there is no Kṛṣṇa. But if he brings Kṛṣṇa in his life, he is putting one before all the zeros. So you put one before all the zeros will have value. If you have 3 zeros, it is 1,000, 4 zeros, 10,000, 5 zeros, 1 lakh rupees, 6 zeros, 10 lakh, 7 zeros, 1 crore. So all zeros will have the value if there is one Kṛṣṇa in our life. So Prabhupada used to say this. So that's why whatever Kṛṣṇa said in Bhagavad Gita, we try to literally follow him and do whatever he says, and not what we think is right for us, because each one of us are having some deficiencies. With all the deficiencies, we cannot understand the Supreme, which is out of all the deficiencies. So the best way is to follow sincerely what is said by Kṛṣṇa in Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Did that satisfy the question, Prabhuji? Yes. Thank you very much for wonderful question. Okay. Hare Krishna. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, सब भक्तों की